Hey guys, this is Web Naruto Solo Leveling Part 2. Sorry if I sound a little bit tired. It's currently like 9 a.m. and I haven't actually slept all night. So once again, sorry if I sound a little bit tired. In the last video, I explained that Naruto went to a dungeon after like a week of getting his solo leveling, or a little system menu or whatever it's called. I'm going to change that to instead when he's around 6-ish, because when he got the menu he was around 5. So 5 or like 1 year time skip, and in the meantime he's mainly just doing daily challenges. And so when he's around 6, he finally goes into the dungeon. Everything happens like how I said in the last video. He fights the wolves, he still wins, he gets a small poison, basically dagger, or like a small sword basically. He starts to do more dungeon as he gets older, and now he's around 7. One day he just sleeping, and all of a sudden he wakes up to some sort of feeling that he feels as if there's some sort of intent to kill. And he jumps out of bed and looks around to make sure that just to check if anybody's around, but to his surprise nobody's there. Just like in the manga, the system can alert him if anything happens, like if somebody has the intent to kill or anything like that basically happens, the system can alert him. He gets up, and once again he doesn't see anybody nearby, and he starts to head towards where he kind of feels this intent to kill. And he eventually finds himself at the Uchiha compound. He heads in only to have the smell of blood hit his nose. He opened the system's inventory in order to grab the small poison sword that I talked about earlier. He headed into the compound where he witnessed Itachi tell Sasuke that he is weak and that he needs to get stronger if he wants to kill him. Then Sasuke would have passed out just like how it was in the original. Naruto would have rushed to Sasuke to make sure that he was okay, and he had seen him a few times before this, mainly when he's walking around the streets, but he never has really talked to him, but he still wanted to make sure that he was okay. He also saw Itachi leave, and Itachi ended up looking back at Naruto, and Naruto was shocked to see a tear come out of Itachi's eye, and Itachi also mouthed to Naruto to take care of him, which is, Itachi telling Naruto to take care of Sasuke for him, or like, just be there for him in a way. Then, in a blink of an eye, Itachi was gone. Naruto then took Sasuke to the hospital and immediately told the Hokage about what happened. The Hokage decided to send some ninjas out to go check, the crime scene, or the amount of, the death basically, to clean up and all that. Naruto waited in the hospital for Sasuke to wake up. He felt really bad for him since, his whole entire clan was just killed and wiped out by his only older brother. And so, yeah. Sasuke did end up, of course, waking up, and right when he woke up, he started freaking out and basically saying, where is he, where is he, he needs to pay, and is basically extremely mad. And of course he's talking about Itachi, but Naruto somehow ends up calming him down a bit, and he also explains the situation that Sasuke is in right now, everything that happened, all that. He doesn't mention the part where Itachi started crying a bit, or what he told Naruto, or like mouthed to him, but yeah, Sasuke would want to leave the hospital as soon as possible and go train, just so he can just train to kill Itachi. And right now, of course, he isn't in the best mood, to say the least. And Naruto would have tried to cheer him up, and after hearing Sasuke's goal, Naruto would have asked Sasuke if he can help and if he wanted to be friends. On top of all this, Naruto honestly just wanted to find out why Itachi did this and why he mouthed that to Naruto and why he cried. Like, he thinks that maybe there's some other motive, or that there's maybe something else in here, like something that he wants to basically figure out. Sasuke would basically decline by saying, I don't want help, nor do I want to be friends with someone that's weak, because from what Sasuke can see, Naruto just looks really weak, mainly because, well, Naruto's always wearing that long sleeve basically sweater in a way, and so you can't really see how strong he is, and they've never really fought before, and Naruto has been known to be pretty weak because he's been bullied before, and Sasuke of course knows this. And so Naruto's pretty sad, and he really wanted to be friends with Naruto. He really wanted to be friends with Sasuke because overall Naruto doesn't really have any friends, and so he's a little bit desperate basically. And with that, that's the start of emo Sasuke. And also, because Naruto doesn't really have any friends or never really fought anybody, like even when he was getting bullied, he never really fought back, so he doesn't really know what his strength really is, like for his age. And he's been starting to do more dungeons, like kind of daily, and it's increases strength, speed, defense, and health. And yes, that this would mean that he can take a lot of damage without dying, depending on, his level and the amount of health that he has, like how it is in the manga. A year later, he's now 8, and he isn't doing dungeons daily anymore, but he still does them like time to time. He's mainly doing daily challenges for now, and he's focusing on chakra control. He's still, pretty bad at it, but overall he's getting a little bit better. He decides to join the academy, and by now he's really strong, and he's the strongest in the class for sure. He went to a fight with the kid, and he actually like really hurt him, and he felt he didn't want to like basically hurt people, and so he decided that he would have to hold back, and he started to realize the power gap between his strength and everybody else's strength. Krama is again still, or I didn't say this, but he's still messing with his chakra, so he's still bad at stuff like the copy ninjutsu like he is in the main series. But even Kurama is starting to acknowledge Naruto. He thinks that Naruto might be someone who is worthy of his full power in like the near future, like maybe when he's a little bit more older and able to comprehend all of Kurama's power. But he still doesn't like him. He still doesn't like humans. Naruto still hasn't even like talked to Kurama yet. Kurama did save him, of course, in the beginning, but that was just out of selfish reasons. But even with that, he can still acknowledge Naruto's strength. Although he is strong, he still fails the graduation test because again, Kurama's messing with his chakra. He's still pretty bad at it. Yes, he's gotten a little bit more better since he's been practicing more, but overall, still not good enough to pass. He's not at the bottom of the class, but he still is pretty down there because he doesn't want to hurt people. And every day he gets stronger and stronger, and the stronger he gets, the more he has to hold back. And it's to the point where every fight feels kind of boring to him. Like, basically he holds back at the point where like there's no kind of excitement for him. I guess everything's a little bit more boring, but he still rather do this than like accidentally kill somebody by trying to actually use all of his power. After failing it for I believe the third or fourth time, I kind of forgot, it's one of those two, like how it is in the main series, Mitsuki eventually comes along and tells Naruto that there's a way to become a ninja a whole lot quicker. And since Naruto again failed so many times, Naruto decides to take this, but he suspects that it's a trap, but again he decides to go for it anyways. While he has a scroll, he only mainly learns one move, and that is of course the Shadow Clone Jutsu. He doesn't take time to learn any other ones, it's mainly that one that catches his eyes. But when Naruto is about to get attacked by Mitsuki, time basically freezes for a second. He looks around and everything's frozen. Mitsuki's stopped in his trail, and he looks around, he can see that Iruka Sensei's in a bush kind of like right next to him, and he's also not moving. And a menu pops up saying, "Warning, person with intent to kill coming for you." And this is of course how it is in the manga, where in the beginning, actually I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm pretty sure you guys have already read the manga if you're watching this, but you know what I'm talking about if you have. And it says, "Kill them or else your heart will stop in a few seconds." And Naruto doesn't know what to do because he doesn't want to kill him, but at the same time he doesn't want to die. He looks around and again sees Iruka Sensei there, and he doesn't want Iruka to see Naruto. Or basically, okay, let me rephrase that. Naruto doesn't want Iruka to see him kill someone, and because Naruto recently has, him and Iruka have started to build a small relationship with each other, like father and son, kind of like how it is in the main series. He eventually decides to make it seem like he had to by purposely letting Mitsuki hit Naruto with the Demon Wind Shuriken. This, of course, makes Naruto bleed, but because of his health and defense, it barely does a thing to him. Iruka thinks that Naruto might have basically already died, or is at least extremely injured, and he basically blames it on himself for not jumping on time, like in front of Naruto, in order to stop it. But Naruto rips it off and uses multi-shadow clone jutsu, where he ends up killing Mitsuki after just a few seconds of them fighting, because what's a home to Naruto's, all of them are really strong just with raw strength alone. Well, technically raw strength because the menu, you know what I mean. Iruka decides that Naruto was in the right and it was technically self-defense, blah blah blah, and Naruto apologizes for what he did, but they didn't really do anything to him. Iruka decided that he would take the blame for it and just say that he had to kill Mitsuki, and that if he didn't, Naruto would have died. And so it worked out in the end because they don't want Naruto to die because he is the nine-tailed Jinchuriki, and the nine tails would be released again technically. And so of course Naruto still ends up passing. And so um that also, I forgot to mention this in the last part. Naruto still does end up meeting what's her name, Hinata, and they still have that little mini interaction with each other. So yeah, and again, Hinata still likes him, and so when he enters, Hinata is of course happy that Naruto made it. And right now Naruto doesn't really like anybody. He doesn't like Sakura like he did in the main series. Like it's at the point where he somewhat likes her, but he really isn't going for her that much. And so eventually the teams get announced. Of course, it's still the exact same: Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto. And Naruto still is a little bit mad at Sasuke for, you know, that their not last interaction, but you know, back when they were more younger. Because right now they're 12. I forgot to mention this, but yeah, of course they're 12 because the graduation, Mitsuki, all that. It's when they're 12, and so he's still mad about what happened when they're around 7. And Sasuke still views Naruto as someone who's weak, and Sakura of course still really likes Sasuke. And so of course they're revealed to be on team, and then they have to wait for um Kakashi Sensei. There we go. Sorry. And eventually, of course, he comes after a long time. Naruto doesn't pull a prank this time. He basically just stands there, or not stands there. He basically just sits there along with everybody else. And of course, Kakashi, in his opinion or in his mind, says not impressive, basically. And Kakashi would basically introduce himself, and he'll tell all of them to go to the rooftop and meet up there. And to Kakashi's surprise, as soon as he gets there, Naruto's already there, and he's sitting there just waiting, basically. And Kakashi's pretty impressed by this. And so once all of them are there, they all sit down in the exact same position. Kakashi asks what's their goals and dreams and blah blah. Sakura gives her, that whole entire Sasuke where she basically wants to marry him. Naruto still says that he wants to be the Hokage and be respected by the village. He likes ramen, he likes to train, and that's it mainly. Oh, and he dislikes when people, call him a monster, like bully him or anything like that. And then Sasuke says, his emo quote, basically saying that he wants to kill a certain someone, and that this isn't a dream, or this isn't a dream because he will make it a reality. The classic quote. He says that he doesn't like anything, he doesn't dislike nor does he like anything, and all that. Which Naruto of course knows that he's talking about Itachi, and so it's Kakashi, because if you guys remember, Kakashi was also Itachi's, what's it called? Anbu teammate. There we go, teammate. Basically his teammate in the Anbu. And Kakashi also knows about the Uchiha massacre. I'm pretty sure he does. And so I'm pretty sure he knows, or he doesn't know the true story, but he knows that Sasuke would want revenge on Itachi for that. And so he automatically assumes that, he's going after Itachi. Which Kakashi basically leads him to a field and says that tomorrow at like 6 or 7 p.m. they have to, or AM, sorry, they have to meet up right there at the fields for a test, and if they pass, then they go on to become normal ninjas. And if they don't, or he doesn't, no, never mind, he doesn't explain it. It just says that they have to meet up here, they have to make sure they don't eat breakfast, and yeah, basically they have to just make sure they don't eat breakfast because they're going to throw up. Of course, this is a lie, but they believe it. And so that's where I'm going to leave out this video. Sorry that it's kind of short. I actually had a script, but I realized that if I ended it there, it would only be around like 10 or 12 minutes. And so, or I'm not sure, I just had to edit all this, so it would only be like maybe 10 minutes. So hopefully it is a bit longer since I added more parts from the top of my head. If you guys like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Also, I made a community tab saying if you guys, because I stream time on both Twitch and YouTube, and so I want to know if you guys want me to start doing face cam streams. And so there's a community poll up on my community tab. You can go vote if you guys want me to. I really don't mind either way. All that aside, once again, hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, wait, one more thing, sorry. And if it ends up being yes, then I'm gonna do it when I hit 3,000 subscribers. So once I hit 3,000, that's technically gonna be where I'm gonna start doing face cams. If the poll ends up saying yes by the time I hit 3,000, I'm like 400 off, or like almost 300 off of being 3K. So again, like, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.